Here to take over the game. Yeah. Still. You know what's going on. Yeah. It's still politics as usual. Life looking beautiful. Talking real heavy. More heavy than the usual. Shook the whole world up. And type of motion new to you. To us it's a throwback. Losing we don't know that. Only give them up facts. That's exactly what y'all lack. Always show the people love so they show us love back. Yeah. And been worthy like 42 on the Lakers.
Beloved, good evening, good night, or good morning, whenever you're watching this. We're here and we're back. They tried to fire me like how John Hamilton and Tez did, but I crossed the picket lines. I'm scabbing it out. I'm here, and it's a big day. A lot has happened in the association, and we are the Politics as Usual NBA podcast where we're covering everything sneaker related in the NBA, and I'm glad to be back. That is my man Adam Carter right there. How are you, good brother?
What's up, Jack? How you doing?
Listen, I'm glad to be back. You know, Tootie's tried to besmirch my name, so he's banned from the show. Hope you enjoyed it, big fella. Over my dead body, coach. Never, I'm never calling you coach. There's only one coach in Coachville, and his name is Scug. His name is, I'll call Mark Bailey coach first before I call you, sir. Anywho.
Shout out to the good brother, too.
With his fancy background. I threw my phone on the train watching y'all.
And listen, he had to make sure it was right, too.
Oh, my goodness. I said, that was fancy. Yeah, baby. Well, make sure y'all follow us on all the social medias and Politics as Usual Talk. Subscribe to Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Listen, we are in the throes of the season. A lot going on. A lot of craziness going on. But first, man, we got some sneakers this evening.
We didn't have. See, you're going left. We didn't have any sneakers talk on.
I thought I didn't put it on the docket. But we'll save it. I keep a pair nearby just in case. But yo, we can dive right into it then.
Absolutely. Let's dive in, Jack. So, and one of the crazier stories, Jack. Mike Malone gets the axe a week before the playoff start. I can't say that I've ever saw something like this happen, where a team that is in the hunt for the NBA championship, not the playoffs, but for the championship, with a MVP candidate on the team gets fired before the season's over. Never heard of that, Jack.
This is insane. And the last day or so, I just like Luka, I was like, man, this can't be right. Why would they fire? They love Mike Malone. And hearing a lot of the chatter, my boy Zach Lowe, who's just got his podcast back, he said in September he reported that Mike Malone and Calvin Booth didn't like each other. And they've been having this thing going on with Calvin Booth. I remember him from Penn State. He made it to the league, but is a way better executive. They fired both of them. And I was like, it got that bad. Y'all was in fourth place. Joker is going to go down as one of the best players ever, having another season like we've never seen for a center. And you couldn't finish out the season? I like what's the chances of them now getting their morale together to be able to play this last couple of games with an assistant, no general manager? This is insane. And I had to look it up. This is my fake stat of the week. The last coach to get fired with 3 or less games left was the legendary Hugh B. Brown. He's with the Hawks. And they were
what year was that?
They were like 81.
81.
And they gave him the axe and he went to the Knicks. But still he wasn't in a position. They were out the playoffs. They're right there in the hunt. You know, they're trying to make but then I started thinking back to some of those press conferences. He said Mike Malone lays people out. He said they don't watch film. You can see that. I thought it was tension, and I could see. Remember Russ? I guess that was last week when Russ missed that layup, and he kind of said you can see it was tension there. But I never would have thought it was so bad that he would get fired on his day off. Because they said they caught him in the locker room stealing boxes. And you got Luka Doncic, the other one. You got the Joker on your team. It means you got a shot. So this is stunning, man. And this is a whole new thing. Ty Lue, when he won with the Cavaliers,
Mm-hmm.
got fired. Frank Vogel won a chip, got fired. Budenholzer fired, won a championship. Nick Nurse, so that doesn't even mean nothing. You
Right.
know, back in the, like if you want a chip, that listen, man, nobody uses their one chip resume quite like our boy Doc
Rivers.
Rivers.
I knew
Doc
you
Rivers
were
been
there.
coasting off that, so that's almost 20 years ago, and these guys getting fired. They was in the finals 2 years ago.
But you
Stunned.
know what I was thinking this week when I was thinking about the firing of Mike Malone? We often hear about the Kobe's, the Dirks, the other players that stayed with one franchise and the loyalty that you're supposed to have to a franchise. These executives are proving that there's no loyalty to the players. There's no loyalty to the coaches. Jerry Sloan is not walking through the door anymore where he's with the Jazz or
Yo,
Greg Popovich. Jerry Sloan
yo,
never won an
over.
NBA championship, and he was with
Yeah.
the Utah Jazz for 90 years. He was with the Utah Jazz forever. So when we talk about this loyalty thing, it's a joke that, I think executives started trying to control the players because they don't have any loyalty to anybody.
Oh,
And I think it's all fair game from here on out,
yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, man, great point. And these owners, man, and the owner, it came like right from the top. He was like, "We got to change." He said, "Don't let the winds fool you. We don't like what's going on over." I was like, "Yo, what?" That's from the owner. You know, the owner, I believe they're the KSE Group. They own the Colorado Avalanche, and they recently won a Stanley Cup. They own the Rams. So
Okay.
they all their teams win championships. And I heard a lot of talk, and this was been bothering me and my boy Vince Goodwill about it today. He said, "I'm not going to lay this at the feet of the Joker, just like I'm not going to lay this at the feet of Ja, because they was killing Ja." Saying he got Taylor Jenkins, another good coach, 45 wins. They got rid of him, and but here's what. And I want them to have that same energy for Joker, because Joker, sure, if he knew about it, he didn't go try to save his gig. And if you're gonna kill Kevin Durant, if you're gonna kill LeBron and the other players who say they Kyrie, who y'all say is coach killers, you gotta talk about the Joker as well.
Exactly. And I don't know. I mean, I felt like the Joker and Mike Malone had a great relationship. I felt like there's no way in my mind. I mean, who knows, right? But there's no way that I feel like Joker would have signed off on that. Not now. Not now.
Duh, maybe I was like, y'all didn't even give him to the summer.
Yeah.
But like as the owner said, he said we didn't want to fall. What he was saying is we didn't want to get to the second round, and it looked like we got potential. So he really was saying we was getting rid of these two dudes anyway. Which is like, and here's what he's gonna find out. They don't make coaches every day.
Yeah.
they don't make championship. They are hard to find. You got Spoelstra out there who's probably retire as a Heat. You said Popovich early. Man, there's not a lot of great coaches out there.
Yeah. And I think any team that is on the hunt for a coach would be happy to take Mike Malone. So that was a foolish firing.
You know what I thought about? I don't know if I should say it. Don't know if I should say it.
You thinking about Broad Street?
But he won't fit. But he make a tone it. He's a hard nosed guy. He can bring it down a little bit.
But I like the Sixers coach. I don't think.
I think Nick Nurse is a good coach.
I think Nick Nurse is a
for
good
that.
coach.
I think he got a raw deal in Toronto. How you gonna win the championship? You lose Kawhi and lose your gig because you ain't got Kawhi no more.
Hey, that's the nature of today's business.
So
Jack. It's,
I like Nurse, but that's the first thing I thought about. But here's what I don't know who's gonna be open, but he's gonna walk right into a gig. He must around be in Phoenix next year.
Hey, that wouldn't be a bad look, Jack. That would be a bad look. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that, Jack.
Another good coach.
Another good coach. So let's switch topics, Jack. Last night, man, was a big game out there in Oklahoma City, and
Woo.
He's chose to take it over, Jack. So Luka got tossed from one of the biggest games of the season, Jack, and that was a little unfortunate. What was your thoughts on that? So apparently he said something to a fan.
Yeah. I was in the fan, but I heard the fan on a couple shows. The fan's a celebrity now because here's what's crazy about that game. There's a great chance the Lakers win that game. They win that game last night. OKC has got a lot to look in the mirror at because the Lakers present a particular problem for that team. And you remember last year, the same team, they had no answer for Luka.
Right.
You put Luka on a team with LeBron and Reeves, and I never thought about it until this morning. They said they have 3 legit ball handlers and playmakers. Most teams have 2 in the lineup. And you can see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference like against that team. And man, look, it looks like they can handle the Thunder.
Absolutely.
And I think that matchups. I think a Warriors matchup may be a little tougher because they don't have fast wing guards, so that matchups are everything in the playoffs. But when I was looking at that, and I was looking at the refs. Here's how you know the refs like the attention. When they give their little when they go review the play, how they be looking in the camera and all that. They like to be stars now more than ever. Like back in the day, you may know a couple refs' names. You may know 1 or 2. You may not never know them. I can name about 10 refs, and we should not. The refs supposed to be invisible.
Right. And apparently the ref told a couple of the players from the Lakers,
Yo!
I'll talk to anybody but Luka.
What?
So, Luka's, as I said before the show, he's starting to,
And here's what's crazy. Luka can be a jerk, but when you sign up to be a ref, like B-dubbing him, you sign up to be partial.
You
can't let...
Y'all listening?
Bum refs, but you can't have bum stripes. But you can't bring that in. You can't bring the Lucas. you can't bring that into the game. Bum whistles, bum no calls.
Bum missed call.
Yeah, man, I'm like, yo, boy, how the bull gonna say I'm not talking to Luka? Yo,
Oh my God.
you know one thing I didn't like about the Lakers. I thought JJ Redick should have went berserk.
He should have got thrown out after.
Because Steve Kerr, if that was Draymond, would have lost it. Ime would have lost. I think he would have, and you know what? He'd have set a new tone that y'all can't do this to Luka going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And that changed the game, like you said. And
the energy, you could tell they was zapped, man, because they know when it comes to the Thunder, Luka's the guy.
Absolutely.
They cannot do anything with him. So that was kind of, but Shea. And here's another thing I know about the Thunder. They don't have I don't know if Jay is dependable enough to get 30. I think Jay will for the Thunder. I don't know if he can get 30.
Oh yeah.
If you in this league, you need 2 guys that can get you 30. Lakers got a couple. Clippers got a couple. That's my issue with the Timberwolves. Golden State you need 2 guys that can get 30 today.
Right.
That's why the Boston now I'm looking the Celtics are so crazy. They got about 4 guys.
Absolutely. Any given night. Absolutely.
If Crazy Joe says I need 30, that starting lineup would get 30. And when I'm looking in the playoffs, that makes me think, and I was building when I'm watching them against the Lakers, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Lakers. It could be just the Lakers. That's a tough assignment for like you got Caruso got to choose between Luka and LeBron. That's a crazy choice.
Or Reeves. I mean,
Reeves, and keep forgetting.
You're forgetting. Like he's a
what a year. What a year. Last year I thought he kind of plateaued, and that last year I was like, I wish they trade him for like Deontay Murray. Man, they knew what we didn't know. This year, he took such a leap. He messed around and be borderline all-star. What would keep him from the all-star next year because there's so many guards and Luka and LeBron are going. So that probably keep him out for numbers.
Gets a little bit older, he's going to start to more and more take that back seat. He's going to start more and more deferring.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it because he's such a great player. And LeBron said that first year, he said that kid is a playmaker. I didn't know, I couldn't see it. I said I could pretty good, but the refs took a classic game from us. That was going to go to the wire. It felt like a playoff game.
Absolutely, Jack. But I think they may see each other come playoff time, Jack, and that's going to be fun to watch if they just so happen to meet in the playoffs.
That's the conference finals. If the ladies get that 3 seed, they're lined up to meet them in the conference finals.
We shall see.
That'd be crazy.
We shall see, Jack. So switching gears, Jack, what's up with these team owners out here right now? They are, I think, a little wild this year. You got the Luka trade. You got the firing of Nick Nurse and the GM. Not Nick Nurse. I'm sorry.
He's a prophet.
Mike Malone. I'm sorry. Mike Malone.
Freudian slip.
You got the Grizzlies coach. You got you got all the. It's been a wild year.
Yeah, man.
What is going on?
And the thing about what I didn't know is about Taylor Jenkins in Memphis, I didn't know. I said, man, I got to follow even more closely. They fired his whole staff and was trying to make him, so he came in there on a hot seat. He's trying to implement a new offense. And with that on his back, they could possibly win 50 games and he got fired. That's another, he's going to walk right into a gig. But these owners, man, are really I don't know what's going on.
That the Grizzlies had this year. I mean, you should be thankful to have Ja didn't play a lot. What's my man's name?
Jaren Jackson, Triple J. He missed a lot of games.
He missed a lot of games. I mean,
and Ja
Smart like that.
I forgot all about him. And here's what's crazy. Ja don't know if he want to shoot it at the crowd. Now he's throwing bombs. Just dealing with that alone, this coach deserves some grace. I'm like, yo, and he was part of just like Mike Malone. Mike Malone has been there just as long as the Joker, so they help with the development.
Yeah.
They help develop these guys.
They grew up together, matured as player and coach together.
Desmond Bain, all those guys, man, they were hurt. I don't know, I didn't hear anything from the Nuggets yet, but the Grizzlies, a lot of those guys are really messed up about that because that's the only coach they know, and he was part of their development. So, but the owners, man, are just making, just some wild, like even Jeannie busting them for the Lakers. Just y'all just go trade AD in the middle of the night.
Back to
reality. That's my key to start running on my phone. I'm a runner now.
Oh, I heard.
Oh yeah, I run all over the world.
Oh man, listen. The worst thing that ever happened to me was joining one of these run challenges. Okay. Kai Marlowe got me in one of these run challenges. I'm checking it every day. It's an addiction. Tez, me and Tez are going back and forth. Shout out to Tez. It's an addiction. Move over, Tez. Shot's the new runner.
Yeah, just these owners making unprecedented moves, and you would think, I said, they must have really hated Mike Malone to be he ain't gonna finish these 3 games.
No way, man. There's no way.
Clean your day, man. It must have been tension. And you know what I blame? I really blame Russell Westbrook.
They say everywhere he goes,
he'll find a way to blame him. Yo, I watched that Negro miss that layup. That's why I wanted to do the show so bad last week. I was like, yo, you gonna miss the layup, but you can't foul the 3-point shooter, sir. You are an MVP. 17 years in the league. This is kind of things you would think you have to tell a rookie.
You don't even talk about this.
Yeah, but Mike Malone, when he hit that, he wanted to go on so bad. And you just watch the body language of Porter. You could tell it was a lot going on, but I just thought they were frustrated because they were losing. But the owner was like, nah, this is what's going down. Because I'm still not convinced really that, Jason Kidd may got a whiff of it. That came from the top.
Absolutely.
This comes from the top.
Showing their power this year.
Yeah.
They're making it known that we are We are the real bosses of these teams. And hey, man, it shook up the NBA. If it did nothing else, it made it
Yeah,
a
man.
little bit more exciting. So
Thank God for the content we can talk about.
absolutely, absolutely, Jack. But one of the biggest stories that we're going to cover today, Luka's returning back to Dallas for the first time.
Wait.
Jack. Not only is Luka returning to Dallas, but it's going to be the first time that AD is going to be playing against his former team, Jack, and it's going to be an interesting homecoming game starting shortly. Should be an interesting homecoming for Luka. I think he's going to go for 90.
Well, my parlay brothers, you better take the over on whatever the points Luka gonna do. Listen, after last night, plus he been looking good, playing good. Except for that loss to the Warriors, he's been really playing really good. And the Lakers want this game. The Lakers know they clinch a spot tonight. If they win, they get to 50 wins. They'll clear. Now here's what's crazy. Nobody had the Lakers being the third in the West.
No,
Even that's crazy. They was on that way even before getting Luka, which what made the trade so crazy. But him going back and I've been looking at the pregame. If you see me look to the right a little bit, I just can't believe how many Luka jerseys there are. And a lot of these people are Dallas fans wearing L.A. that are just you can barely hear the ESPN commentator because they talk about fire Nico so loud.
because the thing is, Jack, it's not like Luka. He just bought a house.
Yo,
Settled. He was all in. On that.
5 years old. I was telling my daughters when it first happened. I said, it's just like trading LeBron in his first 3 years at Cleveland. They tried to do it to AI. It would have if that would have happened to AI in his first couple years, we'd have blew the city up. Because executives don't take into account how much the fans connect with those players.
Absolutely, and those fans in Dallas were.
Yo, it's their guy. They don't got a history of having a Kobe, a Shaq, a Jordan, or Kobe, Shaq. The Lakers got so many different players.
They got Dirk. I mean, they got Dirk.
Dirk and Luka.
Dirk and Luka is.
You thought that was two? That's their two guys. That's why they love. Gave him a statue. One of the best power forward. That's our guys. They thought Luka was no. And not to saying like Anthony Davis is not a bad. First of all, learning from the many mistakes of the Sixers, I'm never trading a young person for an old guy. He's
Never.
25. You're not going. He's in the 30s with an injury hit. Nah, I'm not going older.
No.
So
I could see if they traded Luka for the Joker.
Joker,
Okay.
give me Shea. You got to be a top 5. You get Shea. Who else? I maybe give you Giannis, Ant-Man maybe. Ant-Man's young, but you can't. I don't get it. Like you can't give me Luka for Karl Anthony Towns.
No, that's not a fair trade.
He's 30-something. No. Too old. That guy's 25, and Luka is a one, and the fans know it. You don't get Lukas all the time. You don't trade Jordan his first couple years in Chicago. He's special.
And
Then I was watching the show today. That was like, first of all, I said one of the crazy things about the deal is they did get Austin Reeves, which is genius for the Lakers.
Or Hashitashi. I would have wanted Hashitashi too. My boy Hashitashi. Listen, Rui is playing great. Jack.
Yo, listen, man. And Rui, and the way how Rui is, and I saw something, they said, LeBron is always yelling at him. That's the same thing he was doing to Austin Reeves. Because he know Rui got something. Rui got size, he got game, he's strong. I would have tried to get him. I said, y'all got to give me Finney Smith because he can shoot something.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Thompson thinking I'm going to sail in there and play with Luka. And Kyrie's hurt, Luka going.
They came to L.A., Clay. We should have brought your doctors to L.A. Your little
I don't know
sailor
why
hat.
I don't know why he didn't do that, man.
Your
I don't know why he
daddy's in
didn't
the
do it.
mood. What's wrong with Clay? Crazy,
Oh
Jack.
man.
Crazy, Jack. So we shall see how this game turns out tonight, Jack. But
Oh man, they giving him a tribute right now.
Garden on Monday, we would as one of the good brothers would say, I'm not gonna hold you too long. I know you guys want to watch Luka. Yeah, I don't know who says that. Some guy says that. You guys know that. You guys
Yo,
know
speaking to myself.
not gonna hold you too. Not gonna hold you long. But on Monday, Jack, we had the men's national championship game.
Oh man. Oh
Houston, and that came down to the wire and proved to be
man.
a great game. Interesting. This is not the fact of the week, but an interesting fact is this is the first time that we had the top four. The final four
Yeah.
were all number ones. Like I think the last time that happened, Russ was at UCLA, and oh man, so, it turned out to be a great game, Jack, for the men's, and not so much for the women.
Ooh.
Not so much for the women. Sad to see our girl
Ooh.
South Carolina go out like that, Dawn Staley. But
Prayers up, Don Staley.
yeah, shout out to UConn and in Florida,
Yeah.
Jack. Both well deserved, Jack. Both well
His was
deserved.
I'm a big Juju Watkins fan, so my heart was broken. I wanted to see
Yeah.
her and Paige go at it because Paige is so good.
Tough.
Oh, and I was
A
hoping,
freshman,
even though,
a freshman for
yo,
UConn. Oh my God,
buddy,
tough.
and I'm looking at, and in the portal, they just got I forget her name. She was playing for Florida State. She's a top scorer in Division One. And South Carolina getting her next year, so the women's is going to be stacked. But I did not think. I thought it was going to be a good game. I didn't see that blowout coming at
Well, this is the
all.
second time that they blew them out this season. They played them out in the
Yo,
season.
yeah, you're
UConn
right.
blew
You're
'em
right. You are right. You're right. You're right.
out.
But that was crazy, man. But my heart broke for that young man who had the two mistakes like Russ. It was a bad turnover for Houston.
Yeah,
That's not to get shot. See that coach over there. He looking like this might have been my last shot to get away. It's crazy. Houston
69.
never won, man. Fly Jam or Slam, they never won. And Elijah wanted all them. Man, I wanted them to win so bad.
Yeah,
But Florida, I looked up. As soon as I say Florida got close, I said, man, they gonna win.
yeah,
Because Houston started playing tight. But shout out to Houston for the men's side. And UConn again, and Gino, we got to start putting him up there as one of the greatest coaches in sports history. I think that's number 12.
absolutely, Jack. So you know what time it is, Jack? It is time for my favorite segment of the week. That's a
Yes.
fact, Jack stat of the week. I got a good one for you this week, Jack.
Oh, let's hear it.
So, just recently, Tyrese Halliburton passed Chris Paul for the most games ever with 20 points, 10 assists, and 0 turnovers. He's
Ever?
only 25. Ever. He's the leader in that stat all time, and he's 25.
First of all, didn't expect to hear that name tonight. Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Threw me. Yeah, I one thing I noticed about him last year when he was really rocking and rolling, that he has low turnover games. I saw a couple games. Then he said he had like 12 assists, 1 turnover. You mean tell me that kid is already past Chris Paul and 20 no turnovers?
And we're talking about the point guard and Chris Paul, yes. So
Yeah, wow, that's a stat, man.
big future ahead for Tyrese Halliburton. He didn't play much in the USA Olympics this year, but in years to come, he's going to be handling the ball for them for sure, Jack.
I think Steve Kerr had like a light skin thing going on. Only one light skinned guy at a time because he had him, Tyrese sitting next to Tatum.
Yeah.
Now I got to look at all the games again. But the Pacers don't want to be messing with them in the playoffs because of that stat. They play fast. They can play a different. Yeah, that's a great stat.
Jack. Absolutely. And just like that, Jack, that is it for this episode. Jack, it's
Yes.
Shoutouts. Who you shouting out this week, Jack?
Man, I do want to shout out John Allen for jumping in 2 weeks ago, but I want to shout out you and Shaddy and that alleged videographer, Feve Elegante, aka Lamar Brickers. Y'all did a fantastic job. I like how y'all had the kid throw the ball over at the right time, and Shad caught it like it was a prime.
The funny thing was that was unscripted. It was crazy as it was.
Perfect time. See, when you following God's plan, stuff just happens like that. But man, yo, it was fantastic. And y'all, as we was talking, man, you were on to something with chronicling these stories. I was so sick because his stuff is so hard to find. And he was pre-AAU and pre-Nike camp. But, man, I remember him being, I don't know where I found it at back in the day. He was third all-state. I don't know if any of any Coatesville players ever got that before him. Maybe Andy Washington back in the day, and one of those guys, Chuck. He was third team all-state from Coatesville, up there with like Danny Fortson, who played. I shot you his name, and man, just to see him recall that time and how he, man, did an amazing gig of making a career from Lincoln D3, and just really, and we owe it to him. He opened the floodgates of everything's coming after 90s basketball. Rip, Tootie, all the Brickuses, Reese, our era, the era after, the era right now. We owe Shaddy. He may not have the gaudy stats. He probably got 2 years of varsity. Mm-hmm. Yo, he did so much in those 2 years, man. He didn't have the lights on him like a lot of other players did, but that was fantastic. So I wanted to shout y'all out for that.
Appreciate that, Jack. And I'm shouting out Shaddy as well, Jack. I'm happy that I was able to be a part in giving him his flowers, Jack, because it's well deserved. Because he's truly like a folk hero out in Coastal.
Oh man!
If you know, you know. Daryl Shaddy Lewis, a bad boy, Jack, for sure. So shout out to Shad.
Yes.
And just like that, Jack.
Yeah, make sure y'all follow us on the social medias. Thank you for the executive producer doing her thing down there, and follow us and Adam. You see the information on the screen, and we're glad to be back. But we wouldn't be back if you didn't give us something smart. I know you got something with that Goodfellas shirt on. I know you got something tonight.
If you're not early, you're late. That's that guy. That's that guy, Jack. Yeah, I got to start putting you on the spot more often. This is unfair.
I'm late.
Came here to take over the game. Yeah. Still. You know what's going on. Yeah. It's still politics as usual. Life looking beautiful. Talking real heavy. More heavy than the usual. Shook the whole world up. That type of motion new to you. To us it's a throwback. Losing, we don't know that. Only give them our facts. That's exactly what y'all lack. Always show the people love, so they show us love back.